Have you ever wondered why some relationships seem to fall apart while others flourish? This question, though simple, has a multitude of complex answers. Among these, there's a crucial factor that stands out: communication, or rather, the lack thereof. What is communication in a relationship? It's not just about talking or having conversations. It's about expressing feelings, desires, fears, and aspirations. It's about being open, being vulnerable, being honest. It's about listening, really listening to your partner, understanding their perspective, empathizing with their emotions. Communication is the cornerstone of any relationship. It's the bridge that connects two individuals, allowing them to share their worlds with each other. According to renowned relationship expert Dr. John Gottman, in the absence of communication, even the smallest issues can escalate into major conflicts. Think about it. How many times have you felt misunderstood or not heard in a relationship? How many times have you wished your partner could just understand what you're feeling without you having to say it? These are common sentiments, and they all boil down to one thing: lack of communication. Communication is not just about solving problems, though. It's also about building and maintaining emotional intimacy, expressing love and appreciation, and fostering a sense of security and trust. Remember, every conversation you have, every word you utter, every silence you share, contributes to the fabric of your relationship. It's a continuous process, a journey, not a destination. Without open and honest communication, misunderstandings and resentment can quickly breed. And that, my friends, is why communication is so vital in a relationship. Moving on, how intimate do you feel with your partner on an emotional level? Emotional intimacy is not about grand gestures or passionate declarations. It's about the quiet moments of vulnerability, the deep conversations that stretch into the wee hours of the morning, the shared laughter and tears. It's about understanding your partner's world, their dreams and fears, their hopes and disappointments. It's about being a safe haven for each other in a world that can often be harsh and unforgiving. Yet, despite its significance, emotional intimacy often gets overlooked. It's like air. You don't notice it until it's gone. And when it's missing, the relationship starts to feel hollow, like an empty shell. How can we avoid this pitfall? By prioritizing emotional intimacy, by making time for deep, meaningful conversations, by creating a safe space where vulnerability is welcomed and cherished, by truly listening to our partner, not just with our ears, but with our hearts. Emotional intimacy is a journey, not a destination. It's something you build brick by brick, day by day, moment by moment. It's not always easy, but it's worth it. Because at the end of the day, emotional intimacy is the glue that holds a relationship together. It's what gives depth and richness to our connections, and makes love not just a word, but an experience. Remember, emotional intimacy is the glue that holds a relationship together. How often do you find yourself arguing with your partner? This is a question that might trigger a cascade of memories, some unpleasant, some confusing, and some perhaps regrettable. The frequency of arguments and fights in a relationship can significantly shape the dynamics between two individuals. In the realm of love, conflicts are inevitable. After all, we are unique beings with distinct perspectives. However, when disagreements escalate into frequent arguments and fights, it can have a detrimental impact on the bond you share with your partner. Frequent arguments and fights can lead to emotional exhaustion. Like a marathon runner, the constant adrenaline rush and emotional highs and lows can leave you feeling drained, making it harder for you to engage in meaningful conversations and activities together. These confrontations can also breed resentment. When disagreements are not resolved constructively, they can leave behind a residue of bitterness, tarnishing the beautiful canvas of your relationship with blotches of unresolved issues. This resentment can often lead to a vicious cycle of more arguments, further deteriorating the relationship. Another fallout of frequent arguments is that it can create an atmosphere of hostility and tension. Your relationship should be your safe haven, a place where you feel loved, valued, and at peace. If it turns into a battleground, it can rob you of that sense of security and comfort. Now, this doesn't mean that you should suppress your feelings or avoid discussions to maintain peace. The key lies in resolving disputes in a healthy manner. Experts suggest using calm, respectful communication, focusing on the problem rather than attacking the person, and practicing active listening. It's also crucial to remember that everyone has the right to their feelings and opinions. So, the next time you find yourself in the middle of an argument, take a deep breath. And remember, It's not about winning or losing. It's not about proving your point or having the last word. It's about understanding and finding a solution together. It's not about who's right, it's about what's right. Let's keep this in mind as we navigate through the complex labyrinth of love and relationships. Do you and your partner share the same values and priorities? Differences in priorities and values can be a significant source of friction in partnerships. They could be as simple as disagreeing on how to spend a Sunday afternoon, or as profound as having contrasting beliefs about money, family, or career paths. Imagine this scenario. One partner prioritizes career advancement and financial security, willing to put in long hours at work. The other, meanwhile, values quality time and experiences, wishing to travel and make memories. Here, the difference isn't about right or wrong, but about understanding and compromise. These discrepancies can be tough to navigate. They might even lead to resentment if not addressed. But remember, it's not necessarily a relationship deal breaker. It's all about finding common ground and creating a shared vision. How can you manage these differences, you may ask? Communication is key. Open, honest dialogues about your values and priorities can lead to understanding and respect for each other's perspectives. Next, finding balance is crucial. It's about giving and receiving, about making sacrifices and compromises. If one prioritizes career, the other might need to be more understanding during busy periods. If one values experiences, the other might need to make time for shared activities. Consulting a relationship expert or counselor can also be beneficial. They can provide unbiased advice and strategies to handle differences effectively. But most importantly, remember to respect each other's individuality. You both are unique individuals with your own set of values and priorities. It's about celebrating these differences rather than trying to eliminate them. So, when faced with differences in priorities and values, don't panic. Instead, view it as an opportunity to learn more about each other and to deepen your bond. It's not about winning or losing, but about understanding and growing. Remember, it's not about changing for someone, but about growing together. How much do you trust your partner? It's a simple question, but the answer can form the backbone of your relationship. Trust is not just a word. It's a deep bond, a sense of security, and a foundation that needs to be rock solid for a relationship to thrive. But what happens when that trust is shattered? Trust issues can arise from a multitude of factors: broken promises, betrayal, or even a past that haunts you. They can create a chasm, making you feel isolated even when you're with the one you love. You begin to question everything, and that constant doubt can be debilitating. It's like carrying around a heavy weight that only gets heavier with time. Infidelity, on the other hand, is like the proverbial straw that breaks the camel's back. It's an act of betrayal that can leave deep scars, both emotional and psychological. It's not just about the physical act, but also the secrecy, the lies, and the deception that came with it. The pain it inflicts can be intense and long-lasting, leading to feelings of worthlessness, anger, and despair. But here's the thing: even when trust is broken, it's not the end of the road. Yes, it's difficult, and yes, it's painful, but it's not impossible to rebuild. Rebuilding trust requires honesty, transparency, and a willingness to forgive. It means taking responsibility for one's actions, showing remorse, and making amends. It's about proving through actions, not just words, that you're committed to the relationship. Infidelity, too, can be overcome. It requires open communication, understanding, and accepting the pain caused. It's about demonstrating that you have learned from your mistakes and are willing to change. It's about showing your partner that they matter, that they're worth fighting for. So remember, while trust issues and infidelity can wreak havoc on a relationship, they don't have to be the end. With patience, understanding, and effort, you can rebuild what was lost, and perhaps even emerge stronger than before. Trust, once broken, requires time and effort to rebuild. But with determination and love, you can mend those cracks and build a relationship that's stronger than ever. In conclusion, every relationship has its share of problems. Remember, a strong relationship requires effort, understanding, and patience from both parties. Before we wrap up, don't forget to show some love. If you found this video helpful, enlightening, or even just interesting, please hit that like and the subscribe button. It helps us know that we're providing content that you value and want more of. Thanks for watching, and remember, relationships are a journey, not a destination. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep loving. Until next time.